Money. We all think we know how to save it, but what if the most powerful financial move isn't about complex investments or side hustles? It's about something so simple we completely overlook it.
Well, that's an intriguing way to look at it. I'm guessing this isn't another cryptocurrency tip or get rich quick scheme.
Not even close. What fascinates me is how this approach has quietly built more wealth for ordinary people than almost any other financial strategy. Yet most of us completely ignore it because it seems too basic.
You know what's interesting about that? We humans tend to overcomplicate things, especially when it comes to money.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. This strategy works whether you make $30,000 or $300,000 a year. It's all about one simple sentence that most people say at the end of every month.
Hmm, let me guess. I'll save whatever's left after expenses.
That's exactly it. And research shows that about 65% of Americans use this approach, yet only 23% of them actually manage to save anything consistently.
Those numbers are pretty striking. Why does this approach fail so consistently?
Well, think about how our brains work. We're hardwired for immediate gratification. Studies show that when people get extra money, 78% of it typically goes to increased spending rather than savings.
So it's like we're fighting against our own psychology when we try to save what's left over.
Precisely. And here's where the solution comes in. Instead of relying on willpower, you completely automate the process. You pay yourself first before any other expenses.
But wouldn't that make it harder to pay bills? That sounds kind of risky.
Here's the fascinating part. Behavioral economists have found that when people automate their savings, even just 1 to 2% of their income, they typically adjust their spending within 60 days without any conscious effort.
That's remarkable, and our brains just adapt to the new normal?
Exactly. And the data shows something even more interesting. People who automate their savings are 4 times more likely to reach their financial goals compared to those who try to save manually.
You know, this reminds me of how companies handle their finances. They always pay their operating costs first.
That's such a great comparison. And just like a business, we need to treat our savings as a non negotiable operating expense. The research shows that people who view savings this way save an average of 3 times more than those who don't.
So, what's a realistic example of how this works in practice?
Let's take someone earning $3,000 monthly. They set up an automatic transfer of just $150, that's 5%, to savings as soon as their paycheck hits. After 1 year, that's $1,800 saved without any active decision making.
And I imagine the psychological benefit of seeing that money grow is significant.
The research backs that up. Studies show that people with automated savings report 42% less financial stress, even if they're saving relatively small amounts.
But here's what I still don't understand. If it's so effective, why don't more people do it?
That's where human psychology gets really interesting. Studies show we're naturally drawn to complex solutions. We tend to believe that something simple can't be powerful.
Like how people will spend hours searching for investment tips instead of just setting up basic savings.
Right. And here's a mind blowing statistic: a person who automatically saves just 5% of their income from age 25 to 65 will typically end up with more wealth than someone who tries to time the market or chase hot investment tips.
That really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
And what's particularly fascinating is how this simple approach changes people's entire relationship with money. Research shows that people with automated savings are 3 times more likely to feel confident about their financial future.
I suppose it's because they're building a foundation rather than chasing quick wins.
Exactly. And the data shows something else interesting. People who automate their savings are 76% more likely to achieve other financial goals too, like paying off debt or starting a business.
It's like it creates a positive ripple effect through all their financial decisions.
And that's really the key insight. It's not about the amount you're saving, it's about building the right systems. Studies show that consistent small actions outperform irregular large ones by a factor of 3.
So maybe the best financial moves really are the quietest ones.
The research certainly suggests that. And here's my favorite statistic: Over a 40-year period, automated monthly savings of even just 1% of income, invested conservatively, outperformed 80% of people who tried to time the market.
That's a powerful argument for keeping things simple.
And that's really what it comes down to. Building wealth isn't about dramatic moves or brilliant insights. It's about setting up simple, sustainable systems and letting time do the heavy lifting.